Hi guys, AdderSnake here, how's it all going? Yes, and hello and welcome to another Subject Sunday, and if anything as well, happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. So, if you haven't got your mother a present and you're in the UK, you've done something severely wrong, and she's probably pissed off with you. Just saying. Otherwise, let's get straight into the topic, which this week is what we're looking necessarily forward to in 2016 in regards to games. So, I was kind of contemplating maybe possibly doing one for films as well, which I might do in the near future. Because there's quite a few films that I'm necessarily interested in this year. But we do have a list of games that I would like to just sort of share with you and the reasons why I'm necessarily interested in it. And hopefully might make a difference in the channel in regards to content that I may upload. None of these games that I'm necessarily mentioning are completely set in stone. I do have some with release dates, some without release dates. And some I may have actually physically to play to produce content for you. Some I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. But I'd like to obviously try and do more where I can on YouTube. So we're going to go in chronological order in regards to the games that have a release date, starting with Quantum Break, which is the soonest from when I'm recording, and we are going to be expecting that supposedly on the 5th of April. Now, Quantum Break is kind of interesting to me in two different aspects. One, I've got the facility to possibly play it on PC as well as my Xbox One, where I probably may lean towards doing it on PC. But again, I'll have to sort of figure out possibly some recording aspects, but that's not the point. But it's the combination of both having a physical game to play a third-person shooter, cover-based shooter, but also tying in a television-esque series. So you, I think they mentioned it's about 20 minutes between each act of the game, and most games, I think this game sort of slated to have 4 acts in between, so I would expect that's probably 4 episodes. Actually, it could be a little bit longer. 20 minutes seems a little bit short. But you break up the gameplay, as the gameplay is from the perspective of the good guys, which is this Jack Jones, who is played by the guy who is Iceman in X-Men. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. But yeah, just sort of like the dicing up between the gameplay aspect and the television aspect actually seems quite interesting. As that kind of combines both my interests, where I do like my gaming as well as television program side of things. Next, which probably is in relevance to the content that you're watching on the screen at the moment, Bloodborne is what I'm playing, but I am looking forward to Dark Souls 3, I would imagine. So Bloodborne is actually sort of my first Soulsy game that I've ever played, sort of considering from Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1 and 2. Bloodborne's the very first one I played, and looking at Dark Souls 3, it looks very similar to what Bloodborne's trying to do in regards to the gameplay aspect. And the main thing that Bloodborne sort of made that jump from the Dark Souls games is that it's considerably faster in regards to the fighting side of things. So as you can see, I'm just literally swiping the sword side to side, left and right, very quickly, where Souls before then was quite a... what do you call it? It's not necessarily slow, but it was kind of a methodical process where you have to kind of time your attacks accordingly. So doing so seemed sort of a more of a fast pace would probably associate, work better with me. I kind of like that sort of more hack and slash, God of War-esque fighting style. So that's something I'm necessarily interested with Dark Souls 3, as well as just general boss battles, kind of like that. The frustration was a fun frustration with Bloodborne, and I'm hoping that's going to hopefully be the same. Which that is coming out supposedly on the 12th of April, so again, not terribly far away. But also releasing on the same day is a good old favourite, nostalgic Ratchet Clank, which is supposedly a absolute remaster of the very first Ratchet Clank game, which came out on PlayStation 2. So to update that in 60 frames per second, full 1080p on the PlayStation 4 is something that I'm interested in. I think the very first Ratchet Clank game I actually played was on PS3, was the Tools of Destruction. Never really sort of been interested in it in the first instance, but I found that very fun to play. And so then to do a cracking time after that as well was very fun. I think it's a very fun game, something that I'm quite into actually sort of possibly buying. So again, possibly more content I would imagine for that on the channel as well. Bring you something slightly different. Now, probably one of the more important releases of the year for what I would find, which ties in very well as it would be my birthday as well. Uncharted 4 is coming out on the 10th of May. And for those who probably know me better through just general how speaking to people on PlayStation, I'm very much an Uncharted fan. I was kind of bought it, not necessarily by accident, but kind of as a suggestion to try and play something with my PS3 one Christmas for Drake's Fortune. So I went ahead with that and played it. I was like, goodness, Jesus, I just loved the game. It was the sort of the collection fest that I was looking for, and just the general sort of story behind it was not sort of Indiana Jones, but you know, that sort of exploration, but necessarily sort of a mystical aspect as well, because it's not necessarily just a treasure hunt as such, but being able to sort of go around the sort of mystical aspect, which the first game is these Nazi zombie people that sort of come to life in the on this island. And I think Uncharted 2 was more in regards to the city of Shambhala, the hidden city of Shambhala, where there's massive blue people. And Uncharted 3 was the djinn that they sort of zip super fast and sort of very Egyptian-y like. So I don't necessarily know what's going to happen with Uncharted 4. It's still a little bit up in the air, but I am very excited to play that, and I think that's something that I'd necessarily be doing on the channel as well. Hopefully with slight changes in regards to the voice dialogue options. So hopefully get some form of possibly different cutscene gameplay with that as well. But something that I personally very much enjoy. I think you guys would enjoy watching that as well. As I say, that's coming out on the 10th of May. And the very last game that I'm interested in that actually has a release date is No Man's Sky on the 21st of June. Now, No Man's Sky is quite an interesting aspect to what I would find to what I necessarily like when it comes to games, as it is ridiculously large open world, probably the very largest open world ever created, as it's created in a 64-bit, what's it called? Not engine as such, but to actually sort of create the world and to create sort of the random aspects of it being self-generated as such. It's very likely that you'll never meet your friend on this game. I don't think that you can actually sort of kind of match towards each other as such. So the expansive world of how many sort of planets and solar systems and possibly even universe, I say universe, that's the biggest thing that could possibly be, but sort of galaxies within that as well, to try and just fathom that is ridiculous. And I'm hoping some form of co-op gameplay is to go with this, because I think just the general exploration of that such vast space would be so interesting and so fun to do so. And do that with a friend as well, try and sort of go into cohorts and try and take down these ships that and these save points for these travellers across the galaxy would be, it seems really interesting to me. So now moving on to things that I'd be interested in that haven't got a release date, is the Batman Telltale series. So I'm very much interested in the Telltale series on get my teeth in, Adam. Jesus. But I'm very much into the Telltale series, as I've played the Walking Dead Season 1 and 2, what's it called? Can't even flipping remember the one with the wolf. And I'm currently at the moment playing the Borderlands, Tales from the Borderlands, as well as I also do have on my PlayStation the Game of Thrones series. I think there was an offer quite a while ago where you got the whole lot for like £30. It was a ridiculous offer. I thought, fuck it, do it. Yeah, haven't regretted that, and I'm hoping something like Batman and supposedly also The Walking Dead Season 3 is coming out this year. Just going around that, and again, the sort of different options that you can kind of kill off certain people or go about the story in a certain way and change aspects of that as well. Again, will provide a very unique video on the channel. Now, the one that I don't know, it seems very interesting. The animation is ridiculously awesome and cute on it, but Cuphead. This is kind of like a side-scroller, shoot-'em-up-ish kind of game, but it kind of isn't for the light-hearted. It seems very hardcore in regards to the boss battles, Literally, you have to look at so many different parts of the screen to make sure that you're not going to get shot by some other things, and literally, it's ridiculous of what's going on screen. It just seems very interesting. The animation's ridiculously cute on it. It just looks like a 1930s cartoon brought to life and just game. It's ridiculous. I haven't really got any other words to say about it, but I'm looking forward to that, and that's actually hopefully going to give me a reason to play on my Xbox One, as I have nothing to do on it really that I'm interested in at the moment. PlayStation exclusive, we've got Horizon Zero Dawn, the same people who, it's Guerrilla Studios, the same people who've done Killzone for the God knows how long, to actually do something different, but still in that sort of futuristic, technological advance, because it's all dinosaur based, but the fact that, say, the fall of man has resulted them to be so primitive and use, like, just generally primitive weaponry to try and kill these robotic dinosaurs seems really interesting and really fun, and it's just a generally interesting setting that they've got in there. So I'll be looking out for that. Now, this is one I'm definitely thinking about actually sort of recording and possibly even streaming as well. But we've got Outlast 2 coming out this year. Now, I probably had to play Outlast, the original one, in about, goodness, I'll have to probably say about 10 to 15 different sittings. I just genuinely, I couldn't hold myself together when there's something following me. I screamed so loud whenever you just got that sort of noise to really sort of just heighten any sort of angst, and literally when he's following me and chasing, I couldn't stop shouting. I don't think it was necessarily fun for my friends to hear, but I was having a bit of a blast, but shitting myself at the same time. But Outlast 2 seems interesting. I actually downloaded the Whistleblower DLC, and I need to find time to play that really. So again, Outlast 2 would be a very interesting, scary game to play this year. And finally, sort of something that's a little bit more unusual in regards to sort of release schedules, is actually talking about the DLC this year for Destiny. Now, for those who may be aware, the release structure this year is slightly different in year 2 for year 1 on Destiny. We still don't quite know really what's going to happen in regards to the expansions, effectively. We don't know if they're going to be free. Are they going to be a slightly reduced price? Because now microtransactions are part of the Destiny culture. Being able to buy your emotes. I don't think there's anything else you can really buy on there apart from emotes, but that's as far as it goes. But we don't really know what's happening, but I'd like to get back into Destiny once again, just to make that time where I know on Tuesdays I would come home, play do the raid, do the nightfall, and just have fun really. So Destiny I would like to get back into and just enjoy it, but that again kind of flows into Destiny 2. Supposedly is coming out in 2017. Some people supposedly think from the original leaked screenshot that it should have been this year, but there was never a confirmed date for it. So Destiny is something I would really like to get back into. So those are the games supposedly for 2016 I would like to really sort of play with it. That's simple as that. I really want to play them this year. So, thanks for watching everybody. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe to the channel. The likes are very interesting for me to see if you're actually liking the videos. If I'm doing a good job, I'd like to continue doing so. And make sure that you're happy with what I'm doing. And if you subscribe, this is my challenge here. I need to beat Hank. And I did mention I'd like to try and get it to 4 figures this year. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. But otherwise, thanks for watching. And I shall see you all later. Take care.